Hello everybody. Last week I did an introduction to ORNA and briefly explained some of the features of the game. In the future, I'll be doing more videos explaining more in depth about each feature and delve a little deeper in the game mechanics, as they're a little bit hard to understand even for myself. Now, I'll be shooting out a video once a week, and I may put out a few more videos each week, but for now my goal is to upload at least one video every Sunday. Now before I get started, I wanted to apologize if there are any inconsistencies in my videos. This is my first time recording, and so it'll be a work in progress, but I really appreciate your support and patience. Most importantly, I hope my videos can help new players understand the game better so that they can enjoy it as I do. So today's video is going to be about getting started. I know it sounds like a no-brainer, and there's even a tutorial when you first play the game. However, the tutorial doesn't give essential information, which is what I hope to cover in my videos. First, let's talk about currency and what it's used for. There are 4 in-game currencies, of which 2 are player currencies and the other 2 are kingdom currencies. The first being gold, which is the basic ordinary form of currency. You use gold to buy items from shops, upgrade your weapons, and upgrade your buildings. That's basically all you really use it for. Now, in the beginning of the game, it's a little hard to come by, but trust me, you'll have way more than enough in no time. The second form of currency is orns. Orns are very special, and you should value these more than gold. Orns are a lot harder to come by, but they will allow you to change classes and specialization, upgrade weapons, create new buildings like shops, and hire pets to aid you in battle. Changing classes and specialization is what makes orns so valuable, since the price of changing classes becomes more expensive as you move up the tier ladder. Same with specialization. Now the third and fourth form of currency is kingdom gold and orns. However, kingdom currency can only be used for kingdom purposes, like boss raids and wars, which I'll explain in another video. But for now, we'll just focus on player gold and orns. So as I mentioned before, orns are valuable because they allow you to unlock and change classes. Classes are crucial to getting stronger and moving up in the game, since they give stat upgrades and downgrades and bonuses, as well as new passive abilities and new skills. Some of your passive abilities are going to change when you change classes. However, you will keep all skills you learn from all the classes you have unlocked. The nice thing about ORNA is that once you unlock a class, you're allowed to switch between unlocked classes at any time for free. This means you don't have to keep using orns to go back to a previous class. Now this is worth noting since specialization isn't the same case, which I'll also cover later in this video. Another note to make about changing classes is that each class has limited options to which equipment they can use. It makes sense though, since you'd expect that a magic-based class will typically favor using staves, arch staves, and occasionally some swords, as well as robes and hoods. Now this is where we put it all together. It gets a little technical, but it's pretty easy to understand once you go through it. There are typically 3 types of classes for each tier, which fall along the lines of a warrior class, mage class, and thief class. This is pretty similar to games with warrior classes being tanks, mage classes having good magic abilities, and thieves or rangers having good agility or resist, or some mix of attack and evasion. For each tier, there will be 3 options you can choose from. As you move up the tiers, the classes begin to mix a bit of the 3 class types in different ways. If you choose a specific class type, you don't have to follow that line the entire time. You can start as a warrior, but if you find you like using magic more, you can switch over to a magic-based class in the future. What you should take note of is that each class has the option of being unlocked by at least 2 of the 3 classes from the previous tier, in most cases. So, for example, because I'm a Blade Master, from tier 6, I can become either a Magistrate or a Dragon Knight. However, if I wanted to be an Archdruid, I should have unlocked either a Grand Mystic or a Battle Mage in tier 6. Remember, if I really wanted to be an Archdruid, I could go back and unlock Grand Mystic or Battle Mage. However, I'd rather save my arms right now and just get to a higher tier class. Knowing all of this can help you save orns by planning ahead which class you want to be at the end. You can always go back and unlock previous classes for new skills and new classes, so don't worry about this for now. So for example, if I wanted to be an Omnimancer, I should plan to be either a Necromancer or Freyr, and to be either one, I need to be either an Archdruid or Dragon Knight. You can see here from the tree which class line you need to follow. If you search up ORNA class tree, you can easily find images or sources similar to this one. If you don't know which line to follow when you first start, just pick a class type that appeals to you for now, either as a physical or magic-based class. I suggest looking up the different endgame classes, their skills and abilities, and their stat comparisons, and then choose which one you think you'll like. You can find all of this information on the official ORNA guide page, and I'll leave the link below in the description. After picking an endgame class, you should plan out a branch to follow on the tree to get to that class. Remember, if you decide you'd like to switch endgame classes, you can always unlock a class from previous tiers to switch. However, you may need to put in extra work to unlock other previous classes if you want to have certain skills available to you too. And you'll have to upgrade different kinds of equipment more suited for that new class. Next, we have Specialization. Specialization works similarly to classes, but are much cheaper. However, they're not limited to specific classes, but rather your tier level. This gives players a wider variety of choices since, for example, any class can be a cleric. You can mix and match to fit your playstyle or see what works and what doesn't. Specialization gives stat upgrades and downgrades, unlocks new skills, sometimes abilities, and changes usable equipment. Now, I must give a warning because I made this mistake when I first started. You do not keep a specialization unlocked. This means that once you switch specializations, you cannot switch back to a previous one for free. You will have to spend orns again. I made this mistake and actually wasted 5,000 orns, which isn't a lot later in the game, but it is when you first start. This actually delayed my class change to a higher tier, and it caused me to take a longer time to get stronger. You also will not keep any skills you learned from a specialization, so be sure to pick one that you really like. I suggest looking at skills and picking the ones you like or synergize with your class choices. Specialization doesn't have too much of an impact on your character than class does, but it might help you throughout the game. I actually stayed with a tier 3 specialization until I reached a tier 6 class, and then I switched to a tier 7 specialization and had no problem. So I did find that I was having a bit of a, I guess you would say, lack of oomph in my fights until I switched, but it didn't really prevent me from growing my character. So I think it's okay if you do something like this because you don't keep specialization, and switching too often will actually waste your orns. Alright, I think I'll wrap up the video here. I don't want to get too technical and throw a lot of information at you right away, but hopefully this helps give you an idea about how classes and specialization works so that you can plan out your options. In the future, I may do more videos covering more depth for each class, such as their advantages, disadvantages, skills, and possible combinations. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to stay tuned for more videos.